All right, hello, welcome back. Today we are continuing to read I Want to Be Miss America. The structure of the lesson is going to be very similar to what you did yesterday. I want to start before I get into anything else by reminding you guys to make sure you're clicking that turn in button on Google Classroom. I know I've told you in the past that you don't need to click the turn in button, but they're actually now running reports at 4 o'clock every day to see who's turned in their assignments and who hasn't. So make sure you are clicking that turn in button on Google Classroom whenever you finish this work for today. But in any case, let's take a look at our objective. We have, I can analyze characterization in I Want to Be Miss America by engaging in a digital annotation strategy. So today, again, structure is going to be very similar to what you did yesterday. We have 2 more days with this reading this story, I Want to Be Miss America. So just like yesterday, you're going to watch this video. We're going to go through a page all together of reading and annotating. Then you're going to do another page of it on your own independently. All right, so our agenda is do now. You should have already done that. If you haven't, go ahead, pause this video, go back to your do now, come back when you're ready. Watch video, you're here, you're on your way. We're going to do some reading and annotating, and then you guys will have some exit ticket questions for you to answer. So if you scroll to the second page of your document, you'll see it says independent work. You will be reading and annotating the second part of I Want to Be Miss America. Follow the instructions in the video for how to annotate. Okay, so before I even click that link, I notice this is highlighted in yellow. That means I have to write. So you should go ahead and delete where it says name and write your own name. Go ahead, pause the video, go back to your document, delete name, write your own name, come back when you have that done. Glad to have you back. Okay, so I have this link here. I'm going to click it. I'm going to open it. I'm going to see that it opens up part 2 of I Want to Be Miss America. So just a recap of what we learned from the story yesterday. We know it's about a group of sisters who have immigrated from the Dominican Republic, and they watch the Miss America pageant every year, and they just look at all of these beautiful women on stage and think, you know, they all look white, they all look quote unquote all American, and the sisters just think, oh, we're never going to look like those women, and it kind of makes them feel a little bit bad about themselves. So that's where we're picking up from. We have these characters that have been introduced so far. Let's keep reading to see what we learn more about today. First, let's start by going over the vocabulary words we're going to see. We've got sala, which means unhealthy and yellow looking. Gangrenous, which means a serious infection. Gushed, spoke with excitement. Sashayed, walked in a dramatic way. Reigning, holding the throne. And ritual, a ceremony that is done repeatedly. So yesterday, I read through the whole page, then I went back and I took my notes. Today, I'm going to model for you what it might look like to stop after every paragraph, ask yourself those 3 questions, and think if there's anything you need to write down. So that's what we're going to practice today. Starting at the top, we have our subtitle, Trying to Look American. But how could we trust her opinion about what looked good? Okay, this is talking about their mother. When it says how could we trust her opinion, that's their mother's opinion. I remember that from yesterday. But how could we trust her opinion about what looked good when she couldn't even get the sayings of our new country right? No, we knew better. We would have to translate our looks into English, iron and tweeze them out, straighten them, mold them into made in the USA beauty. Okay, so I'm noticing some interesting, I'm going to go through my 3 questions. Were there any major events in this paragraph? Not so much. Any author's craft moves in this paragraph? Yeah, I would say so. I noticed the way she's talking about her looks and how she has to translate them into English. I think that was a really interesting way of putting that. I want to make sure I have that down under author's craft moves. So I have it listed as a metaphor right here, where she says she wants to translate our looks into English. It's an author's craft move. It's an example of figurative language. Let's go back. Any words that stand out to me? Not so much. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. So we painstakingly rolled our long, curly hair round and round, using our heads as giant rollers, ironing it until we had long, shining shanks, like our classmates and the contestants, only darker. Our skin was diagnosed by beauty consultants and department stores as sallow. We definitely needed a strong foundation to tone down that olive. We wore tights even in the summer to hide the legs, and Mommy would not let us shave. We begged for permission, dreaming of the contestants' long, silky limbs. We were 10, 14, 15, and 16, merely children, Mommy explained. We had long lives ahead of us in which to shave. Okay, so I got to the end of another paragraph. I'm going to take myself through my 3 questions again. Were there any major events in this paragraph? I think that there was a major event in this paragraph because the author is spending all of his time explaining what the girls did to make themselves look more American. That seems like a pretty major event for me. So I'm going to make sure I have it down in my tracker. The sisters want to look more American. They straighten their hair, put on makeup, and shave their legs in order to feel more beautiful. Those are the 3 things it said that they were doing in order to look more American. Great. Got my major events down. Now, how about author's craft moves here? I do notice the way that the author's presenting things is standing out to me here, where he's really emphasizing like how difficult it is for them to look American, where it says they're painstakingly rolling out their curly hair. He's not just saying like we straightened our hair. She's saying that like painstakingly went through this process. It also talks about how they wear tights even in summer. So it's really like focusing on that hardship that they had to go through. So because the author is putting so much emphasis on that, I would consider that to be an author's craft move. I wrote emphasis on how hard they had to work to feel beautiful. Great. And then are there any words that stand out to me here? I pointed out painstakingly earlier. That's definitely a word that stands out to me. The word sallow is also a very interesting way of describing their skin tone. It's a word, we talked yesterday about thinking about the connotations behind words, like the shades of meaning behind just the literal definition of the word. And sallow, if you're not familiar with it, it has a very negative connotation. It doesn't make me think their skin is beautiful. It makes me think it's not very good looking. So that word has a strong connotation. That stands out to me, along with painstakingly. So I added that under my 3rd question. I have painstakingly and I have sallow. Okay, let's keep reading. We defied her. Okay, so I'm here for clarity in this paragraph. We defied her. Giggly and red-faced, we all pitched in to buy a big tube of Nair at the local drugstore. We acted as if we were purchasing contraceptives. That night, we crowded into the bathroom, and I, the most courageous along these lines, offered one of my legs as a guinea pig. When it didn't become gangrenous, I don't remember what that word means. I'm going to go to the top of my text to check my vocabulary. Gangrenous, a serious infection. So it's saying when her leg didn't develop a serious infection or fall off, as Mommy had predicted, we creamed the other 7 legs. We beamed at each other. We were one step closer to that runway, those flashing cameras, those oohs and ahs from the audience. Okay, were there any major events on this page that I didn't, or in this paragraph that I didn't already have down? I don't think so, because I think I already talked about them shaving their legs. So nothing else really happened that I hadn't already made note of for my last paragraph. That's fine. Okay, what author's craft moves did I notice on this page? Let me see. Well, I do notice that it's talking about this difference between the way the girls want to look and the way their mother feels they should look, where the girls are going through like all of these processes in order to seem more American, and their mom isn't really pressed. Like she's like, you've got this long life ahead of you. You don't need to worry about this right now. So in general, it seems like the mom doesn't feel the same pressure the girls feel to look American. So I took that note as an author's craft move. Contrast is a big author's craft move. Whenever you notice the author is really highlighting the differences between these things, between 2 things, that could be an author's craft move. And the word courageous appeared in this paragraph. It said it described the narrator as courageous. I thought that was interesting. I remember yesterday in our notes, we talked about how sometimes characterization is more direct and sometimes it's more indirect. That word courageous, that's an example of direct characterization. Like the author is coming right out and telling us this character is courageous. So because that is a word that's describing our narrator, that seemed like an important word that I wanted to take note of under my 3rd question. Okay, those were my page 3 notes. Your job from this point forward is to read pages 4 and 5 and go through that same process I went through. We've now shown you 2 different ways of doing it. You can do like we did yesterday and read the whole page and then go through and answer those questions, or you can go paragraph by paragraph, answer the questions for every paragraph, and then by the time you get to the end of the page, you'll have great notes down. It's up to you which way you want to do it. I want to shout out Malachi, who did a great job with our author's craft move question yesterday. He pointed out some rhetorical appeals he noticed in the story. That was awesome. That's something you can take note of on your for author's craft moves if you would like to. Take this time to go ahead and answer those questions for page 4 and page 5. Come back when you've read the whole text and you've finished all of your notes. All right, great work. I know reading those 2 pages and taking those notes was a little bit challenging probably, but thank you for getting on it and doing an awesome job. The last thing you need to do today is go down to where it says exit ticket. You're going to click this link. It's going to pull up some multiple choice questions for you. Make absolute certain that you're answering the what's your name question on that Google form sheet, because some of my students haven't been telling me their name on the Google form and it doesn't record who you are automatically. So if you don't answer this question, I have no idea who you are and you're going to get a 0 for this exit ticket. So make sure you put your name there. All right, once you finish your exit ticket, you're done with English for today. Again, if you have any questions, if you need any help, my number's at the top of the document. You can go ahead and text me or give me a call. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.